Imagine waking up every day with a feeling of emptiness, as if something essential was missing, but you don't know exactly what. Pornography promises immediate pleasure, but delivers an invisible cost. It destroys your vital energy, steals your peace, and diverts your mind from true prosperity. The Creator of the universe gave us the gift of conscience, but when someone becomes a hostage to this addiction, they lose the ability to decide clearly. What seems harmless at first soon turns into a cycle of compulsion, affecting your self-esteem, your relationships, and even your spiritual connection. But why doesn't anyone talk about it? Because it is a silent problem, which many carry in secret, feel ashamed and powerless to change. Sadhguru teaches that true freedom is in conscious choice, but how can we choose when the mind has already been trained to desire what it defeats? If you already feel that this habit is taking away your light, diverting your focus, and moving you away from inner peace, you need to understand what is happening. Good news. There is a way back, and change can start now. What we do know is that this addiction is not just about desire, but about a mechanism that hijacks your mind and steals your life force. In this video, you will understand how this happens and, more importantly, how to regain control over your life. Are you ready to see the truth and free yourself from this invisible prison? Excessive pornography consumption is not just a matter of entertainment, but a serious mental health problem. The Creator of the universe gave us the ability to direct our energy to build a life of peace and prosperity, but pornography addiction has stolen this life force. When a person becomes hostage to this habit, their mind is trained to seek instant gratification, undermining their ability to connect with others and with themselves. The psychological impact is profound. Anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem are common effects, but few realize the true cost of this on their lives. Pornography addiction creates a dopamine cycle similar to that of other addictions, such as drugs and gambling. The brain begins to demand increasingly intense stimuli to feel pleasure, leading to emotional and spiritual exhaustion. The Creator of the universe designed human beings to live in balance, and any form of compulsion breaks this harmony. Imagine someone who starts watching light content and, over time, needs increasingly extreme scenes to get the same satisfaction. This corrodes inner peace, moving a person away from light and true prosperity. In addition to the psychological impacts, there is a change in the perception of reality. Many end up projecting unrealistic fantasies into relationships, becoming incapable of experiencing genuine connections. The Creator of the universe has endowed us with an incredible ability to love and build healthy relationships, but excessive pornography consumption conditions the mind to see others as mere objects of pleasure. The result? Isolation, frustration, and a growing feeling of emptiness. What if, instead of feeding this compulsion, the energy was channeled into something that brings real growth and fulfillment? This is the point where many begin to realize the trap they are trapped in. Sexuality is a natural and powerful force, given by the Creator of the universe to generate connection, love, and continuity of life. However, when this energy is consumed by compulsiveness, it turns into a burden, destroying inner peace and driving away emotional prosperity. There is a big difference between conscious pleasures of one's sexuality and being enslaved by uncontrollable impulses. Those who constantly give in to these impulses lose control over themselves, becoming hostage to desires that are never fully satisfied. And so the mind enters a vicious cycle, always seeking more and more, but never finding contentment. This compulsiveness doesn't come out of nowhere, it is cultivated. Small daily habits, such as extended use of social media and constant exposure to sexual stimuli, program the brain to seek immediate gratification. The Creator of the universe gave us the gift of choice, but many give up this power without realizing it. What starts as simple entertainment becomes a mental prison, where a person feels like they can no longer control their desires. Self-control does not mean repression, but rather knowing when it is best to direct your energy towards something that brings light and growth. True freedom is not in satisfying all desires, but in mastering them. Great truths have always taught that he who dominates himself has more power than he who conquered an army. And, in the context of sexuality, this could not be truer. Imagine someone who channels this energy to create, undertake, or strengthen true relationships. This person experiences peace, mental clarity, and a level of prosperity that those trapped in compulsiveness will never achieve. The point is, do you want to be master of your desires or a slave to them? Pornography consumption teaches the mind to see women as mere objects of pleasure, devoid of identity, feelings, or real value. This loss affects not only the way men see women, but also how women themselves begin to see themselves. The Creator of the universe made us to live in harmony, peace, and mutual respect, but pornographic culture destroys this connection. When a person is conditioned to see others only as a means to pleasure, they turn away from the light and miss out on the true prosperity that exists in authentic relationships. Many men who consume pornography do not realize the direct impact it has on their perception of reality. Little by little, expectations of women become unrealistic, and empathy disappears. This creates a cycle of frustration, as no real relationship can compete with a fantasy artificially constructed by the porn industry. The Creator of the universe gave us the gift of true connection, but those who wallow in this constant consumption become incapable of experiencing true intimacy and partnership. When everything revolves around the search for pleasure, the essence of relationships is lost. If a man saw his own mother, sister, or daughter being portrayed the way women are in pornography, he would be repulsed. However, by consuming this content, he funds the same manipulation that he would despise if it were with someone close to him. This shows how disconnected the mind can become when enslaved by impulses. Those who seek light and prosperity need to see beyond the illusion and start treating others with the respect that the Creator of the universe always wanted us to have. The big question is, how long will someone continue to feed a habit that undermines their own dignity and that of others? Women are not just victims of rampant pornography consumption. Many also began to come to terms, directly or indirectly, with this reality. With the normalization of this content, some have been able to accept that this is just a part of modern culture, while others even practice or encourage this type of material. But does this really bring peace and prosperity to their lives? The Creator of the universe gave us the discernment to see beyond the surface, and it is essential that women awaken to the role they have in this transformation. When they take a stand against this industry, they are rescuing not only their own dignity, but also that of the men around them. Many women believe that pornography is empowering, but in reality, it steals their essence and disconnects them from the light within. What appears to be a form of freedom often turns out to be a trap, where female appreciation is based only on the body and not on the entire being. The Creator of the universe made us with a greater purpose, and anything that degrades women to an object goes against this truth. What would happen if, instead of conforming to industry-imposed expectations, women used their influence to transform the collective mindset? Small attitudes, such as rejecting content that devalues women and creating deeper conversations on the topic, already make a big difference. The silence of many only strengthens this culture. When a woman tolerates or actively participates in the normalization of pornography, she helps future generations face the same challenges. But when she decides to take action, her voice becomes a powerful tool for change. The Creator of the universe called us to be light, and every attitude counts in this mission. What would a world look like where women refused to be seen solely through the prism of sexuality and demanded true respect? This is an awakening that needs to happen, and everyone has the power to start this change now. Pornography addiction defeats the foundation of relationships by creating unrealistic expectations and replacing real connection with an empty illusion. The Creator of the universe made us to live in harmony, but when the mind gets used to consuming instant pleasure, it becomes disconnected from the essence of true love. Many couples have faced silent crises because one or both partners are trapped in this cycle of self-sabotage. The result? Emotional distance, lack of interest, and a constant feeling of dissatisfaction, as no real relationship can compete with the fantasy created by the porn industry. Men and women who fall victim to this type of content end up developing difficulties with intimidation and commitment. Pornography not only trivializes the sexual act, it also undermines trust and mutual respect. The Creator of the universe gave us the gift of deep connection, but when that connection is replaced by artificial stimuli, the relationship becomes superficial. Many who suffer from this problem have relationships that, even though they are in a loving relationship, feel like an inexplicable void. This happens because pornography trains the brain to seek constant novelty, weakening stability and loyalty. Couples who decide to abandon this habit and focus on rebuilding their intimacy discover a level of peace and threat they never imagined possible. Small changes, such as opening your heart to sincere conversations and strengthening your emotional bond, can completely transform the dynamics of your relationship. The question is, how many people are interested in exchanging an ephemeral pleasure for a true and rigorous connection? The decision to change is in each person's hands, and whoever chooses to free themselves from this addiction paves the way for a more authentic and enriching love. The Creator of the universe gave us an invaluable gift: free will. Unlike animals, which age instinctively, human beings have the ability to consciously choose what will feed their mind and soul. However, many give up this power and allow themselves to be carried away by impulses that, deep down, only bring pain and imprisonment. Pornography is a clear example of this. Those who consume this content often believe that they are not under control, but in reality, they are being controlled. Conscious choice requires discipline, self-knowledge, and a true desire to find peace and prosperity that cannot be obtained through instant gratification. Often the excuse used is, "It's just a habit, it's okay." But every habit shapes who we are and directly impacts our lives. The Creator of the universe gave us the intelligence to distinguish what He built and what to overcome, and to ignore this responsibility is to give up our own power. Anyone who wants to free themselves needs to start replacing this consumption with something that strengthens the mind and spirit. Reading good books, practicing meditation, delving deeper into spiritual teachings, and investing in cherished relationships are ways to redirect this energy towards something that truly brings light and evolution. Every decision we make brings us closer or further from what we really want for our lives. No one is forced to follow the path of mental slavery. There is always the possibility of change. The problem is that few want to face the truth and make the effort. But those who consciously choose to free themselves from this cycle discover something few experience: true freedom. The question is, will you continue to allow your impulses to determine your destiny, or will you take control and choose a path of more light and real connection? If you've made it this far, you already know that pornography addiction is not just a matter of entertainment, but a deep problem that can be sapping your energy, your peace, and even your prosperity. The Creator of the universe gave us the gift of consciousness and free will, but what's the point of having this power if you don't use it to make decisions in your own life? The question that remains is, will you continue to be controlled by impulses that drain your life force, or will you finally take control? Change starts now, with small daily decisions. What can you do today to break this cycle? Swap pornography for practices that elevate your mind and spirit? Seeking knowledge that really strengthens you? Build real connections instead of living in a world of illusions? The power is in your hands. But the question is, will you use it, or will you continue to fool yourself? The choice is yours. If this video made sense to you, like it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here you will always find content that transforms, expands consciousness, and helps you walk towards true freedom. And now tell me our comments. What was the biggest insight you gained from this video?